Good morning. I'd like to welcome everyone to the opening ceremony of the 2022 Country Championships being held at this wonderful complex, the Central Coast Regional Sports and Recreation Complex here in Tuggerah. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce you all to those who are in attendance here today. Representatives from our clubs have are here this weekend, as well as Barry Duncan, a local Indigenous elder representing the Dark Young people. To begin proceedings today, we would firstly like to acknowledge and pay respect to the traditional owners and ongoing custodians of this land by welcoming Uncle Barry Duncan forward to deliver a welcome country on behalf of the Dark and Young people.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me start by saying I'm not a Dark first. I'm a Bobo man, originally from the northwest New South Wales, Florida. My family has been living on the Central Coast for about 55 years. As chairperson of Dark Aboriginal Land Council, we have over 750 members who take upon themselves to be custodians of this land. I'd like to welcome New South Wales past years to the land of the Dark Young people. I'd also like to acknowledge our elders, past and present, and also youth that are hoping for a bright future. We hope today's games go down well, injury-free, and that the decisions made through and through. I hope that everybody has a great day, and welcome to the land of the Dark Young people. Dark Young Aboriginal Land Council prides itself on holding and hosting marvellous affairs like the Dark State. So we look forward to this year, next year, and then the other years, New South Wales, and we look forward to that. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful morning.
Thank you, Uncle Barry. Only 12 months ago, we stated that 2020 for our sport was an unprecedented time in the history of our sport, and 2021 was no different. COVID in 2021 saw New South Wales Cup make the hard decision to cancel the country championship, and not long after, a year at the end of 2021 was rolled on to 2022. This affected our community in so many ways. Sport across the nation now sees sports leagues delayed, put on hold or cancelled. With the decision made for the New South Wales Cup, cancelling major events is one we never would have placed with. But we are thankful to be back here in Tuggerah, hosting this year's country championship. With that being said, we'd like to wish all players the best for the weekend, and we look forward to seeing everyone at the up-and-coming State Cup in the Macquarie. Thank you.
one here, I think. One on either side. Oh, so but at the back of the sub box.
Minutes. We're set for another great tournament this weekend. On behalf of New South Wales Club Football, we would like to wish you all the best and thank you for making your way here to Tuggerah. Just a reminder in regards to safety instructions that you received from field staff. If you could please carry those out. Minutes close, number 10 minutes. This next siren will be a test. Minutes, please, Mercury, 2 minutes.
Good morning and welcome to the Central Coast Regional Sports Stadium here at Tuggerah. Fantastic conditions this morning for the 2022 Country Champs. And I'm joined here in commentary by David Stone for the local derby, Central Coast versus Newcastle. This should be an absolute belter.
Yeah, it's a good way to start off the tournament, Nathan. We've got two really classic sides here. Good tussle between two local teams. We've got the Central Coast Dolphins leading the Vorden Cup at the present. And we've got the rivals in Newcastle City Touch.
So a little bit of a delay. The boys not in a hurry to get started here. Warming up, obviously not happening here on the stadium, so they've taken their time. To get out here. We've got Mr. Tony Calabria will start us off here in the middle in the pink shirt. Very experienced referee. I'm sure he will handle this with absolute ease. And we're underway here on the stadium with Luke Kane taking the ball from left to right. He gives it to Josh Moffat and they take it forward. Chris Lennon and get the ball out. Here's Kane and Moffat will be middle, and no doubt. And you've got Luke Moffat here at right link, and he gives it back to the brother Josh, and Kane picks it up. There's Lennon. Lennon looks left to right. He dives for it. It's a good touch. Good passing start early by the Coast boys, David.
Yeah, there's a nice little change-up set up into an ML. You'll see a lot of the Central Coast boys, they'll throw a lot of left to right. So a lot of their ball players are left to right ball players. So a lot of their platforms will come from left to right.
And as you mentioned, the Central Coast Dolphins currently leading the Vorden Cup. It's those of you at home tuning in, it's a Sydney-based competition, but we have ventured down to Wollongong in the last couple of weeks. We're heading there next Sunday for the Vorden Cup, and yeah, the Coast boys showing a lot of skill to be really, them and Parramatta probably the two standouts so far in the Vorden Cup, David.
Yeah, it's a very young side too still. Like, they've been developing for the last 3 or 4 years from the under-20s. They won a few years ago, and now they're coming into the men's open system. But it's a real stronghold for New South Wales in the Central Coast area at the moment for players.
As the Coast boys going on the attack. And they'll go there. There's out ball. And Flaherty with the ball off the ground. And there's Moffat in there. Gives the ball away. And back to Josh. And Josh gives it to Luke Kane. Luke looking for the link quickie. They give the ball back. And there's Belcher. Belcher back to Moffat. And Kane with the ball. And Newcastle penalised again.
I believe this 2 penalties, so we could see a forced sub on the sideline already here, Nathan, early.
Belcher with the ball, and he gives it away to Flaherty, and Flaherty looks for the link quick. He's got him all, ends up, and he drops it stone cold there. They're on the attack, probably a little bit of a rush play, I feel, in that set, David.
Yeah, they really could have used their set, but another cheap turnover by Newcastle. This will hurt Newcastle if they keep turning the ball over cheaply.
As Flaherty now dances, and good young player on Flaherty, one of the probably most improved in the last couple of years. I think you'd agree he was in and around the Origin squads.
Yeah, unfortunately he broke his hand. He would have been a real stronghold for our 20s Origin this year, but fortunately broke his hand. And
as Luke Kane's a quickie and Floyd Ty, I think it is, calls a no touch. Newcastle Knights, New South Wales Cup representative for the season, playing the half, and there's a dusty play the ball, and Newcastle here just absolutely shooting themselves in the foot every set here. They just need to complete. You can might be able to hear the coaches there in the effects mic, just to complete. We just need to tuck the ball under our arm, and very dewy conditions here early. It's had the grounds, the council up here, Central Coast Council, have done a fantastic job. They've copped some rugby league, and they go off the ground. Belcher to Moffat. Moffat's good. He slides, and it's a good touch by the Knights. But back to the council, done an outstanding job. The ground here is in fantastic nick. 9 fields in play over the weekend. We had a little bit of rain yesterday morning, but a little bit of dew this morning, but fantastic conditions as Kane. There you go, the dew in action there, and even with the pass. So the key here will be completing, David. You can hear him there. Complete.
Yeah, this type of conditions, just early in the tournament, you just got to keep completing your setup the other end and play your percentages. You can't win a tournament here, but you sure can lose one in the first couple of rounds. So just complete your sets, get up the other end and make the team work hard.
They get down the field. That's The ball's passed away. Stops on a dime. Ball bumped over the top. And Newcastle, they're bucking the trend. Big dive for the line. I think they're happy. No, it's a touch.
Good second efforts there by Moffat. Out the back.
Oh, and that was bucking the trend. Central Coast with all the ball. And Newcastle, a very good driving set. And the Dolphins a little bit vulnerable in defence there.
Yeah, they got caught out a little bit there. It was a good rucking set. And it was actually the first set they've completed in probably the first 5 minutes, to be honest. So, good start there when they do complete a set by Newcastle. It's something positive to go to.
So, take the ball forward with Lennon. Just up over halfway. And you'll see on the field, we got the anniversary logo, 50th anniversary touch, and the ball's picked up. And he left to right, little pop play out the back. And it's the 50th anniversary. And David, in your role as an MSC New South Wales Touch, a lot of hard work going into the conference and the Jubilee Awards.
Yeah, looking forward to it in a couple of weeks' time. We've got a big weekend planned down in Sydney. We've moved to Accor Stadium because of the numbers for the conference and the awards night, which is really good. I think it could be a record-breaking awards night, to be honest, with the numbers that we've got, also including the Jubilee teams, which is really good.
Nearly 400 people, I believe, if not
I think we're at 476, but there has been some added as of yesterday, so really good numbers.
They might have to just hold it in the middle of the stadium at this rate.
Yeah, we could put them all up in the grandstands, I think, and the presenters be on the field. That might be the way to go. And
an error here from the Dolphins coming out, and they spread the ball wide here. There's Sam Mitchell, and he's going to take the touch with a full set on their hands tonight. So it's going to be interesting to see what they've got here as Floyd Ty looks to give it away, and they've sent on Brennan here. And they'll work there with Atkins and Ty, and Brennan's there as well, and Atkins at dummy half. Gives it back to Ty. And they'll play middle here on the attack. And interesting to see the defence. And there's Ty. He gets the ball. Looks, he steps off the left. A big dummy, and they can't handle it. Probably a little bit too exuberant this early with the conditions, David.
Yeah, just not patient enough. Teams aren't using their set of 6. We saw Central Coast turn the ball over on touch 1, and then they've turned it over on touch 3. So just a little bit more patience from both sides in attack.
As the Dolphins now, they head forward, and that'll be Kyle Germain. And the ball's played by Luke Kane, picked up, and he dummies 3 times. He goes over. Kyra Didi's got some wheels, but the referee's pulled it back for a late pass. Kyra Didi, one of the best finishers in the game at the moment, you'd have to say.
Yeah, he's one of the best, but also one of the fastest. I like this little tussle out here on this side wing. We've got 2 of the State of Origin 20s boys.
Oh, big contact. Yeah, that's always going to be a penalty. Sorry to interrupt, David, but you come in like that, it's a little bit reckless there from Ollie. No, it's not.
Could have got a week if he was playing league, mate.
4 sub there, shoulder charge, no doubt. And the referee's not happy, and we're going to advance tonight's upfield with a bit of back chat. Mutual respect policy in place, so no doubt if any players want to get out of line, I'm sure there'll be plenty of penalties this weekend against. As the Knights look over halfway, there's Isaac Jones, and there's Blake Potts, the State of Origin mixed open representative, played with his sister Jessica.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, they had a bit of a connection there. They have a really good connection in mixed, actually.
The ball's long ball out, and it's some good defence there. Slippery feet out there on that far wing, but Ollie Jones defends it well for the Dolphins. They're still on the attack. Ryan Potts now. He goes to the big dummy. Blake picks it up. Brother Blake, and he throws it over the top, and Kyra Adida just peels out with a little bit of simplicity there from Adida, and he'll play it. Moffat at dummy half, gives it to Kane, and they're the big 2 in this team, I think. And here's Kaya almost got a chance to show his speed. Probably a little bit early in the morning for Kaya to get going, I think.
Yeah, and I think he's come back from a holiday in Bali too, overseeing some relatives and some heritage there from his background. But yeah, he said he's still on Bali time.
At least he got to the game on time. That's the main thing. As the Dolphins go on the attack, they give the ball back. There's Flaherty with the ball. He gives it back through Lennon, and Lennon now gets the counties, and he dives at the line, and the referee's happy. Owen Flaherty, he'll open the scoring, and a simple play, short pass. Yeah, just a little bit out of position, the Knights.
Simple little counties play there by Lennon, and that's one of his go-tos. He really digs into the line, and I like the way how he played short. You've got to play through the front door in these dewy conditions. The long balls aren't going to work as well because you just can't rip a ball. So play the front door early.
You'll see the teams have swapped the position here. 30 minutes, touchdown turnaround. I'll tell you what, David, it's the first time we've been at 30-minute touchdown turnaround since I think the 2018 State Cup. We had the Fires or the the smoke issues. We obviously had some rain last year and COVID in between that, and Floyd Tye picks it up, he dances and he gives the ball away. But, 30 minutes, the first time for a long time for some of these players.
I think it's the first time from me from a staffing point of view too, Nathan. It's been a very long time since a normal tournament of touch football.
And you see the smiling faces all around the venue. I think everyone's happy, particularly the country affiliates. Missed out last year due to COVID. 52 teams back in 2020, and we've got just under 70 this year. A fantastic effort, including clubs as far as Albury, right down on the border. So a big thanks to Kate Stevens and the team from Albury who have come up and put in a mixed masters team, or mixed seniors team. I don't want to put them in the masters category just yet, but as far as Albury, and then as north as up your way, I think, Stoney, up Maxville, I think probably as far as we go.
Yeah, Maxville, I think Maxville this year, but it's really good to see some new affiliates. Like we've got Tamworth back involved, we've got Gunnedah here, we've got Nowra. There's some real new.
They're going to hit back here, Potts, out the back, and they hit back. The Knights, just from nothing really, they've just quick drive. We've seen it from the start, from that first set that they had. Once they dropped the ball about 18 times, once they finally completed the set on the back of that, that drive's been outstanding, and the Dolphins have panicked a little bit. The dewy conditions, we saw a slip over there, and quick hands from Potts, and I believe that was Hugh Doherty on the far wing who gets the desserts for that one.
Yeah, I think early some late switches and that will really get some footwork. It is slippery. We've seen a fair few players slip under feet. But some late switches, some change of directions early. I think we'll see some early tries here.
That's a very, very good pass there from Jeremy Belcher. You had Moffat with the sweep and then the give back, and Belcher threw it over the top just nonchalantly, and they give it back, and the ball's long again. He's going to look for the pop on the inside. Oh, flick pass, outstanding, gives it back. Is he going to go out? He gives it back. And we got a touch, but that's some enterprising play in these conditions. As we said, they've been struggling to complete both sides, and then we're pulling out flick passes like Benji Marshall 2005.
Yeah, it was a nice enterprise play there, but it was well defended. Good scrambling there by the Newcastle City touch.
And we've seen a penalty go against the Knights.
I think it was for 7 on from where they've tapped it from.
And that's a big thing that we'll see, I dare say, early in the competition. I think there was no touch there from Kane. He's got some wheels on him, and Moffat will just take the touch. And Josh Moffat, you'd have to say, in the last 2 to 3 years, you talk about the development, JD and the team, Mitch Walkerton at Central Coast, and the time, and Kane, he's got him on toast here. He steps back and dives. It was a good touch, but Josh Moffat, I think, would definitely be one of the most improved players in the men's opens game in the last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, and he did debut for the men's open State of Origin team this year, which was really good for him. He was one of the young kids that come from the 20s the year before. But yeah, he has been one of the form players for New South Wales, and really strong on the sweep plays and little tricky plays like that he's really strong for. So, but also a very good defensive link sometimes, yeah.
Don't be surprised to see him. He loves the little sweep play on the old S auto, or they just channel it now. It's usually just a little, that's a penalty from the ruck every day of the week, but the referee plays on, and that was off the mark. But we'll go 2 or 1, 6 or 1, half a dozen the other, and we'll continue up the field, the Knights. And Potts will get the ball, and he'll throw it wide. And they go on the attack again, and the ball's played. Potts picks it up, he dances, and he goes through, he looks, he got the ball away, but the winger on the far side, Josh Wertetz, he makes a touch. But the Knights, once again on that drive, David, here are pulling the coast apart, I feel. Yeah, they got them rolling really well, and Newcastle does get that really good flow. I think it's something that they're playing more middle, where Central Coast are coming from a 4-on-3 platform, but that's a bit better there by the coast. And the ball's picked up, and they go through. There's Niebel, Hemi Niebel, and I think he's dropped his out anyway. Referee Calabria in fantastic position. And the Knights here, they'll get on the roll here. Belcher probably offside, and Calabria grabs him on the second one. Very experienced referee, Tony Calabria, one of the best in the game at the moment. And you'll see, no doubt, he will feature on Sunday later in the day, no doubt, as the Knights get up and they progress just over halfway. And the way this game's been, I'd love to see this played on a dry track, Stoney. I reckon this would be an absolute belter. Yeah, I think it'll be a little bit different game too, Nathan, with the long balls and that. But I like the middle platform that Newcastle are coming from. I think that's the way to go early this morning, and then take the 4-on-3 platforms later on today. And they go over, they go long, and some good defence there, Ollie Jones, and he pulls it out. Speaking of that, Central Coast probably not entirely happy. They're on the TV, on the coverage through, thanks to Bar TV, and it gives the coaches for the Vorden Cup and also moving forward to State Cup an opportunity to pick them to pieces.
Yeah, a little bit of footage. It's always handy to have a bit of footage on teams, but these days, most players, most teams know every single play in the playbook, and it doesn't take long for these players.
Oh, here we go. They've gone to bits. Ollie Jones out the back, and there's the man, Josh Moffat. With some good feet in there. I think it was Flaherty and Kane in the drive, and then out the back, the passive play. And
Yeah.
Ollie Jones scores in the corner, 2-1 Dolphins.
Yeah, that's a good hit back there by the Dolphins, and as we were saying, look to try and play through that front door early. We've got Calabria pulling the play up here to have a quick chat to players.
So after the skipper, so I dare say there may have been some words. So there he is, Tony. Everyone's looking at you now, Tony. Give the camera a wave, all the folks back home.
Let's just say he's promoting our 50-year sign, Nathan. It's a good thing by Tony. I think he's thinking of us.
As we go forward, and David, we've spoken a little bit, touched on the origin, mate. Debuted as the head coach of the men's 20s and come up trumps in the first game, but just couldn't seal it in the last two. Very tight contest. How was that experience, the whole campaign?
The experience was really good. There was a lot of lessons learnt by me as a coach as well. A little bit of a disgruntled preparation, obviously, with a lot of the rain. It was hard to find proper fields. We'll train on synthetics, which isn't ideal. But overall, the boys played really well. I was really proud of how they played. Like, we really gave it to a star-studded Queensland side. Like I said, really proud of the boys. We had a couple of injuries before we even got up there. Obviously, Owen Flaherty, who would have played a big part, broke his hand. But overall, it was a really good experience, and really, really proud of the 20s boys.
And if you can give us a tip of a player to watch out of that, you might not want to single out just one player, and I'm sure there'll be a bit of flack given regardless as a bit of the coach's pet, but is there a player to watch maybe later this weekend over the screen? Is there anyone here this weekend that's one to watch?
Yeah, I think this kid just missed the touch, actually. So it could make me look bad, but young Lennon, really young kid, but just come back from soccer to play touch again, and he is outstanding. He's got a really good left to right. He was a real stronghold for us, even defensively at Origin. And there he goes. He's missed a strike, but really good kid to watch overall, and just a good kid in general. But there's another one from the Parramatta Eels that I really like as well, as Will Hickey defensively. Just knows his role. He's a type of player you do need in a team that just does his job, no questions asked. But yeah, it's a good group of 20s that we got coming through, so it's hard to single some out.
2-2 there, some slick hands and Knights. This probably come into this, you probably think probably would have had the Dolphins in front by a couple at the end, but the Knights are definitely putting on a show here. They've turned up and not afraid of the crosstown rivals, and they don't care where they sit in the top of the Vorden Cup, that's for sure. Yeah,
no, this is good. I think this is good for probably the Dolphins too. Give them a bit of a reality check sometimes to go, there's other teams that will stick it to us in the country. It's not just about the Sydney teams that will give it to us. Newcastle's really showing here, and look, they're a quality side. Like, they've got some good players in the Potts boys, and Floyd Tyer's been a past Australian player. So there's some quality players in this Newcastle team.
I think there's also the fact, as you said, the style of play here. The Knights have clearly come with a plan to go up the guts. I think that's very evident. I think on the last play as they go the sweep with Kane, Kane steps back, and that's a try. I think that's down, but
no, you got to call a touch.
There's good touch there by Matt Atkins. But that style of play here probably surprised the Dolphins here a little bit, and they've been very successful early, the Knights.
Yeah, they have been. Like we say, I think they've played the right conditions, the plays for the right conditions. It's a bit dewy, but they're not trying to throw the big long balls. They're playing through the front door like they need to. There's a good play here by Potts.
Are you surprised at the style of play so far from the Dolphins? They are, as you said, they're setting up for that ML middle platform, and it just looks like they're just trying to go long. It's been successful once for them, but every other time the Knights' defence is sliding out.
Yeah, I personally think I'd like to see him throw some options. So maybe strike down from the right and just play short. we know they've all got their left to right players. They've got 3 or 4 in the team that can go left to right, but set it up for a right to left maybe. Just surprise Newcastle. Newcastle, have, obviously these boys play each other all the time, but obviously they're set up for the 4 and 3, so that's what the defensive structure for Newcastle are sticking to. Maybe bring it wide and just throw a short ball and an early release rooster from the right to left maybe might work.
There we go there, Luke Moffat getting into the play with a step back, and Raina Badia on the field for the Dolphins, and they're starting to mix it up, and you got Josh and Luke now, the Moffats.
You've also got Hemi Nebel here as well. These 3 always work well together.
Nebel goes forward, the link quickie, and the link quickie isn't that comeback, it's come back like double denim. The old link quickie, that's back in. It's an in thing these days.
It is. I think it's something that the referees might start watching really closely, because geez, some of them are line balls. I think it's something that the referees might need to pick up on these link quickies.
Once again, Mr. Calabria there, giving our 50-year logo a plug, as you'll see, for all the events of Stewart State Cup and also the Vorden Cup Grand Final to go, which you'll see. You can see under it the 2022 Country Championship. So for the events during this year, the 50th anniversary, we'll be celebrating with that logo and the name of the competition under it. So a big thanks to Best Science for producing some of the best work. They do how they do it, some of those blokes is absolutely amazing with freehand. And they produce with a quality like that. It's very, very good stuff. So a big thank you to them. Big shout out to our partners, Budgie Smuggler, who are here. They're here on site, so no doubt we'll have all the country touch community that they'll be all smuggling by the end of the weekend. So a big shout out to the team there, to Adam and the team at Budgie Smuggler, and also our official apparel supplier, ISC. A big thank you to those guys for partnering, as well as Hyperactive, the merchandising partner. They go along with pots, and the ball's caught by Carter Lovell on that far side. We'll go forward here and play the ball, and the ball's picked up by Mitchell, and Mitchell gives it to Potts, and back to Mitchell, and give it away, and there's Atkins, and Atkins gives it back, and Mitchell will play it. Atkins picks it up, he steps off the right, and there's a long ball, and Adida. I think that you're spot on, David, and obviously been around the game for a long time, and I think the long ball just isn't working for anyone at the moment.
One thing there, I've noticed too, the wingers for the Coast are really holding wide. Their link is channeling, but if the attacking link from Newcastle gets deeper and chops a hard hole and a little bit wider, I think that link hole's really on.
As the Dolphins, who Belcher picks it up, and they give the ball. They got the overlap here. Flaherty will go for the line. He gives it. Oh, very unselfish play by Owen Flaherty, and they take the lead here with around about 6.5 minutes left on the clock. But that was some serious play, and the hands when they work, absolutely outstanding. So good play, and Josh Warturts there with the try in the corner for the Dolphins. As Calabria restarts us, and the Knights will look to level up 3-2 to the Dolphins in an epic clash. And we go forward, and we're going to go on the attack, and there's LRs. And LRs plays it, and the big dummy there from Potts, Ryan Potts, and penalty from Mr. Calabria. They'll go on the attack, looking to get back in the lead, or get back level, sorry, I should say. Back in the lead, back level, and they'll play there's LRs, and they give it back. Floyd Ty back on the field, and moving forward. Ty wants that link quick, he wants to expose him, but he doesn't want a bar of it there, and some good defence getting up in the face, and there's Floyd Ty, as I said, Newcastle representative in the New South Wales Cup, and he dummies and passes, good ball. They go for the line and knock down. Good defence on the wing, Warturts.
Once again, Nathan, that's good counties play there by Ty, but the opposite link isn't chopping a hole. He's just running on the outline. I think he's got to get wide and chop a hole hard.
And there's LRs. LR's for the line. It's a good touch there on that far side. Raina Badia. The call from the Coast box. Energy's the call, and they're going to go the sweep play. Ty gives it. Dummies off the ground. They've got him here on toast, LRs, and Josh Moffat, his speed there saves him big time. to be young again, it would be fantastic, wouldn't it? There's Elas, picks the ball up, he dummies to tie. They've got him here. Can he get off the man? And they're dummied, and he throws into him. That's ball down. Very, very good call, Brendan Sanderson. Very, very good decision. I think he knew that he was cactus there and had no other option, and chucked it into the legs of the defender.
Yeah, but once again, just to change of direction, another man slipping early this morning. That's the way to go to this morning. Just use your footwork, change of direction, and people are slipping over everywhere.
And the Dolphins now, they look for their subs, and Moffat will go off, and there's Raina Badia. They get up over halfway. There's Beltry's dummy, he takes it, it's last. That's Niebel with the ball, he throws it long, and there's Warturts, and ball to ground, and penalty from the referee back in the middle of the field.
Must have been for a late ball there, but opportunity here for Newcastle to get up the other end.
As we said, 4 minutes to go. As Elas takes the ball forward, and there's Ty. He looks for the pass on the inside to Elas. Elas needs to get off. He's looking for a sub. He's been on. He's done some hard work there, the young fella. And here come the legs for the Knights, and that's the Isaac Jones, and Potts gives it away. And there's Brennan. Brennan plays the ball. The ball's picked up, and that's jersey 12, which would be Will Steele, I believe. And there's Brennan again. That'll be a late pass.
Yeah, they got a little bit muddled up there. They're looking for the middle M2 passive out the back, but the link come in. I think the link needed to stay wide, a bit wider there, but you could see it coming out the back. The link on the box side really dropped deep.
So the Dolphins here with 3 minutes. 3 minutes on the clock. They'll just be going for field position, I dare say, and if they get a chance to strike, then they'll look for it. And a little bit, it's like maybe struggling to lack of training with the weather or something. They look a bit disjointed, the Dolphins. But when you get Moffat and Kane together, they can do what they want, and they go straight through. And David, you've been calling it. I want to give you a rap there. You've been calling the front door and just going short, hitting a hard hole. And the viewers at home, that's a David Stone special.
Yeah, you got to hit the front door. But one thing there, I think, it's patience too, Nathan. Not going to the fancy plays. Touch is a very simple sport. A lot of people complicate it. But just play the percentages, play the basics.
And as we said, they'll look to strike if they get a chance, and the experience. You know, this is a very, very young side, as you said at the start of the coverage, this Dolphin side, but they're going to be a force to be reckoned with for years. As you mentioned, the top of the Vorden Cup at the moment, no doubt they'll be featuring on Sunday in the semi-finals at a minimum. Very good side.
We also too got to remember, Nathan, they played a game last night, so they could be still a little bit fatigued. They would have travelled down, but obviously a little bit of fatigue maybe in the legs.
Well, as you said, this is, I suppose, the beauty of the crossover as well. There may also be obviously in the lead up to the country chance, but there also may be a bit of loading in the leagues for State Cup. I think State Cup is the premier competition. I think that's what everyone sets their goals for, and they pick it up, and there's some speed there. They run out of play, and they go the late. Calabria's got them. Late switch, the unintended late switch from Luke Kane.
I tell you, if he late switched earlier, it was on for sure, because that middle was burnt.
But that also could be a factor, as we said, with the crossover competition. So we're Vorden Cup, we're into country champs this weekend, and the Vorden Cup next weekend. We have Thursday, Friday and Sunday games. So, and then also, as we said, starting the training for State Cup, loading those legs. Yeah,
it's definitely touch season's back, Nathan. It's full on with touch football at the moment, but yeah, really looking forward to the end of the season with State Cup coming.
I'll get a chance to hit back here, but it might be a little bit too little, too late, as Jojo once said. They'll go on the attack. Not long to go, 30 seconds, and Floyd Ty will hold him up. Some good defence there, and Kane will go up, he'll make it. They go the out ball, and there's Elas. Elas will go straight through there. Luke Kane, big gap. Sydney heads opened up between Belcher and Kane, and Elas goes straight through. And they hit back, 4-3. Just 20 seconds on the clock.
Just quietly, Nathan, they out ball and step back off the feet, and once again another slip. So if those teams that are playing next are watching, I think that's your go-to for the next hour or so until this dew gets off the ground.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the next hour will probably bring still conditions with the way the fields are, and there you can hear it in the background. That'll do us the first game. Thanks for joining us, David. It's 4-3 win to the Dolphins to start the country champs. And we'll take a short break and we'll be back with our next game shortly.